It was on the line, but I think it would have been maybe a tad harsh to give Almanza a penalty, but there was a very fine line between what he did and then stepping over the mark.
Yeah, I think I called it live as saying it was on the limit, and I've not seen anything since then to change my mind on that. I would not have wanted to see a Moto3 victory change hands for a move like that, because ultimately, as you say, Max Keyless did get up the inside in the end. There was a width of a Pirelli front tyre to go through. Max Keyless found that gap. I would have probably had a little bit of a word with David Almanza just to say, look, we want to see close, exciting racing. That was probably just about on the limit, or maybe just over it. And ultimately, I think where Max Keyless would have every right to be a little bit aggrieved is that he tries to make the move up the inside, and of course the gap is constantly closing because Almanza keeps coming across. But David Almanza, ultimately, he's fighting for a first Moto3 victory, so I don't think we can necessarily criticise David Almanza too much for that. No. He was going to do absolutely everything to defend
him properly on the road.
But mentally, that is massive for Almanza. He must come to Brazil and for the rest of the season now full of confidence that, okay, I'm not expecting Almanza to challenge Keyless all the way for the title, but to get your first win at the start of the season, massive kudos to Almanza.
I mean, we're saying no, we're not expecting it because you can't predict it now. It's too early in the season. There's your riders you think right at the top level.
Don't want to draw too many conclusions from one race.
Of course not. We just keep our feet on the ground, but really, really impressive. So, an interesting one with Almanza, because Keyless is from a region of so Murcia as well, and we've had problems in Argentina. We've had teething problems in the United States. We've had problems in the United Kingdom. This is what putting on live events can throw up. No one can predict the weather. These guys have been working around the clock to get this place ready and going, and what a job they've done. What's there
to be out there and trying to clean up and wash away some of this water and get some lap times in. So yeah, excited for this one.
Just back on about Goiânia, I was out and about last night with a couple of friends who were down here actually visiting for the Brazilian GP. And we were in a bar, a normal bar, and it turned into a rock
club, didn't it? A bit of a festival of MotoGP, and let's hope Goiânia can do the very same.
Oh, it's like Termas. I know we don't go there anymore, but we're going to be back in Buenos Aires next year. But Termas was just so unique. I mean, nightmare for us, because I know we had a room right next to the main square, didn't we? But
you don't mind that though, do you? When
this is it,
you prefer that over a quiet Grand Prix where there's not much going on. You want to be in places, as Lewis and yourself said, in Termas and Goiânia and Brno last year. And obviously Jerez is a magnificent weekend, because obviously it's the Spanish Grand Prix. We know that over 100,000 fans and more pack into the hillsides in Jerez. It's Grand Prix like that make you feel like you're part of something special, and that's what it certainly feels like here.
You want to be leaving the racetrack and know that the party is only just starting. And by party,
sure.
Yeah,
want a piece of
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You want people to have a bit how it goes. I know Lewis Sotheby is going to leave and not talk because it's raining, but we are of Moto3 action. 45 minutes, slightly long leaving. He may as well watch the session here because he's on with you next. That's here. In Goiânia, Hakim Danish going out in the rain. Wait, they just needed to sort a few things out to probably clear a bit.
Wednesday that we didn't have any rain. Wednesday was a nice sunny day downtown Goiânia. And of course, it's on track. So this is Rico Salmela who led them out. Ruche Moodley just behind. A mini back straight, let's call it, before you get to turn 9, which is to have such a low-key weekend physically. So yeah, a real tough opening weekend. All the nerves, and then hopefully get going here in Britain. I don't really blame him either.
Must admit, if you did just hear that, it will get me in trouble.
Yeah, I can confirm.
I don't need any help with getting in trouble. I don't know what I'm going to do when I crack open a bottle of champers. I can't really.
We are expecting that to be a full tilt, full attack mode. It doesn't really do it justice. This drop backs down. This is turn
and all that to put the lap together, do a bit. So there is a few undulating, vibey kind of turn 7, 8, 9, 10.
I expect a lot of riders to be making a few mistakes everywhere around the
Peroni just coming in. It's quite difficult just to get your line, sort of run it out wide, haven't you, to then get you
through, miss the apex at 13 and come
first to top of the timesheets with a 52.1. Well, so this is in early halt to the sessions. We stick with
the outside to turn 1 maybe, but
yeah, just in the back of the picture last time we saw him, but he's fit to ride. Just on that, we mentioned David Leaved. In a way, I guess that there's a bit of a gap after Austin. Lanetta, after his fall here in Brazil and in Austin next week as well.
They had a long layoff period after the crash, but was one of those incidents where he crashed in terms of injury, but yeah, ill effects from that one.
Laps so far. Veda Pratama was fastest. Circuit in Brazil, 78 on screen.
Keela is still rocking the black lid. No, his shell hasn't been homologated yet because the new FIM homologation for certain brands.
7-0. We know that Scott is fine. Scott himself last time out, front end of that second group.
This is quite promising, I've got to say, from these early lap example. He's over the curbs, he's tipping it in, and to work out what way to get through on Bertelli here.
To a brand new circuit. I mean, sort of arrived in the paddock and
a little bit of water as Keela's just actually Veda in the Honda Team Asia squad.
He looked the case over the last few years, the conveyor belt coming to 5th as well. Outstanding weekend for practice.
But in Junior GP on the top 10, reasonably being around Evans' speed just off the back to step up at his first GP and really good for Indonesia as a whole and good.
Quick word on Casey O'Gorman, who's just going to, once he's got to grips with the Honda, how things were feeling on the bike I know I'm not personally worried about it.
Good opening weekend. The pre-season test at the penultimate round last year, we saw the Paolo Simoncelli squad. He's got a good last year. I do believe he's good in wet weather conditions. He's up
to speed. His first flying lap was already challenge champion. Remember, this is a fresh pay race bikes as Pini now goes. We've been to before. I think when you look at all of the names, we're only one race in. We have.
No, and I got to say, when I watched him in pre-season tests, and he's proved me and a few other doubters in that squad. They've got they might have certainly going to be in there again.
Of being in that podium fight, being in the victory. Keela's in his rookie season, 9 podiums, 3 victories, and he's only finished out. Probably something that he'll be wanting to slightly improve. I think Keela's won't be worried too much about him, pretty much no matter where we go. We saw that in Austin, 5th, and of course first time in Thailand, last time out, and he's finishing 3 thousandths off. But of course, beat him to the line to beat this year.
Uriarte comes today, but this is just going to keep improving and improving. Uriarte flies on by. Let's talk about his teammate if we can. Out the start of 2026, a bit 13. The mud running right down the belly pad, and it's just absolutely terrible. Obvious downpours here, but a bit too much battling with Valentin Peroni. Adrian thought he could run with Almanza and Keeles.
P4 points on the board, opening race. Was a good in the end, the top 2 of Almanza in the fight for victory, but yeah, he just lost out in the end overall. And Carpe said they had a good feeling on. He comes into this year as one of the favourite. Carpe, of course, riding for Red Bull KTM. There's always expect this year, but Carpe said it's for the win, and